Hello, my name is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper, here to provide an update for October 14th, 2020. One of the many things we're keeping an eye on is the ongoing attempted first-degree murder trial in Sweetwater County Court. Bradley Setzler has been accused of attempted first-degree murder and interference with a police officer after allegedly shooting through the front door at his wife and then resisting officers when they initially confronted him. Jury's been selected, so opening arguments were heard today, and it is interesting to see what tact the two sides are going to take. Both the prosecution and the defense admit that the couple involved have a rocky history, and both made poor choices on that day back in August 25th, 2019, last year. And it remains to be seen which side the jury will go on, but we got an idea of where the two sides are going to go in the case, with the prosecution outlining that that the wife felt endangered and felt threatened, and actually when the shot came through the door was frightened that she'd been hit. In addition to the defense also providing its own excuse, saying that the wife was more often the aggressor in the relationship, and shooting through the door was the husband's best tact. Remains to be seen. Both sides will go into further detail with the evidence in the case, their explanations for what happened in witness testimony, and we'll see what the jury decides. And we'll, when they do, we'll bring that information to you as quick as possible. Also today, those of you who have been kind of worried about the coronavirus and whether or not you could get a test for it, whether or not that'd be a financial hardship or not, there's good news for today. Governor Mark Gordon announced that he's going to earmark some of the money provided to the state from the CARES Act. That's the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. Some of that money is going to go toward anybody in the state can now get a home COVID-19 test. You need not go to the hospital if you don't wish. Now there's still, in Sweetwater County, we have Memorial Hospital, Sweetwater County. Castle Rock have testing centers set up. But there are some people that would rather do so from home. This is a saliva-based test, and the idea is that while this test usually costs about $150, the state's going to cover the entire cost for any test that's shipped to a Wyoming address. Even the shipping's covered. I know that's where you get you sometimes. You do have to watch that. But the idea is that they do ask that you have an internet connection, because you'll briefly have to go online, have one of those kind of telehealth, telepresence connections with the person who will watch the collection of the saliva. And once that's mailed off, they say that they intend to get the results to all the test takers within 2 days of it being received in the lab. They're quite proud of their turnaround time. The Wyoming Department of Health notes that we have had an upswing in active cases, especially over the last 4 weeks. As of today, we're right at 1,517 active cases. That's not the total, that's the number of people who have tested positive for the coronavirus and it's believed to be infectious right now. Over the last 2 weeks, Wyoming has averaged about 119 new lab-confirmed cases each day. We did see a lull not too long ago, and we hope to see that again. But when you have that many new cases a day, especially in a smaller state like this, that indicates that more needs to be done to get things under control. We've already had 57 deaths. We really want to keep that number as low as possible. I'd rather it not get any higher than that if that was all possible. And we know what the advice is. It's the same it's been for quite some time. Wash your hands. Keep distancing when you can. When you can't have proper distancing, wear a mask. Stay home if you feel sick. And if you've been exposed and or if you feel like you're having some of those symptoms, please get tested, especially since right now, financially, it should be less of a hardship. I do know some people that they were struggling with whether or not to get the test or the timing, since they weren't sure about their insurance, or they were afraid they're going to have to pay for it out of pocket, and it's, do you wait for payday? It's not easy to weigh stuff like that, especially when a lot of us have less financial resources than we did a few months ago. Some of those savings accounts are a bit smaller than they were before. But this is one where more help is available. The last thing I'd like to talk about is college basketball, particularly the University of Wyoming. The men's Cowboys basketball team is set to start the first practice of the season tomorrow. They'll be playing under new coach. Oh, what's his name? I've forgotten it already. I know he was just signed in March. Jeff Linder, who is the 22nd coach in Wyoming history. He's led Northern Colorado to 3 straight 20-win season. We are hoping that he's just as successful, if not more, in the Mountain West. NCAA has given permission for a slightly truncated season. The idea is that games could start just as soon as November 25th, though the schedule is still being decided. The Mountain West announced that the conference portion of the schedule will feature 18 games, and that will open on December 29th. Non-conference matchups, in addition to additional ticket information, that remains to be seen. The Cowboys have at least 4 returners who had experience last year and are being joined by which the coaching staff is talking about a talented incoming freshman class that they're excited about. I mean, they always are, but I think everybody involved, whether it's the fans, whether it's the coaches, even the people on the peripheral, I think that they have excitement about this season like they may not always have. I do think there's more than a few things that, because we watched some things be taken away for a while, or put on hold, or at least something we weren't able to revel in quite as much as we were in the past. I hope we're a bit more appreciative. I hope we can be good fans. And in some cases that means it's going to be required to be wearing some rules you weren't having in the past, or maybe foregoing concessions for a little while. Stuff like that. We want to have as complete a season as we can, and we want people to be safe. So, anyway, whether you're a Cowboy fan or not, Cowgirls, or any of the other bits or teams that are in play this year, I'm wearing one of my Mizzou Tiger T-shirts here. You can't quite see it because of the ankle, but that's life in the SEC is fun. But like I said, I sure hope that you're showing your pride, you're showing your spirit, and that part of sports that kind of brings us all together for something greater than ourselves, that requires extra effort and sacrifice. I mean, nobody steps on the court and is perfect. Even the greats, the ones whose jerseys nobody else gets their numbers, they got there because they put in the time, they put in the effort, they work with their teammates to provide some truly exceptional seasons and memories, and I'm hoping that's what we see this year and through the end of 2020 and beyond. Anyway, my name's Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper. Wishing you a good day and a safe tomorrow. Bye.